Okay, folks, part two. I had to do it. Infowars SuperJbusiness. We are coming live at you right now. This is part two. I couldn't help myself. I want to show you the picture of the biometric scanner of your finger now having to punch into a local grocery store. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to hold it up so you guys can see. Take a good look. That is that giant grocery store. A local grocery store here, and you notice you have your typical punching clock. See that? And at the bottom you have the finger scanner. And that's where you place your finger and it's biometrically scanned. Okay? There it is, folks. They're biometrically scanning you to work at a grocery store now for less than $8 an hour. Okay? And here where we go. Ready? And this is also from the Daily News, Metro, which is New York, which is worldwide. This goes everywhere. Starbucks everywhere. Another global monster. And what do we have here? 1 million robots may be making iPhones. Yeah, so there goes some more jobs. A controversial Chinese company whose high-tech clients include Apple, Dell, and Hewlett-Packard plans to expand its workforce with an army of 1 million robots. Foxconn Technology Group, a contract manufacturer headquartered in Taiwan, will use the robots for simple tasks on production lines at the mainline chain of plants. The company, which employs about 1 million workers of the flesh and blood variety, plans to add the robots. Are you reading between this? You see what I've been putting on my favorites. Transhumanism. Going into it. The global elite. Us not being necessary anymore. It's all right here, folks. Look, it's all right there, folks. All right there. It's happening. And they're calling us flesh and blood now. You have to read between the lines here. Every economy on the planet is headed in this direction, said Professor William Green of NYU's Stern School of Business. The replacement of human labor with machines has been going on in every economy since long before the Industrial Revolution. Foxconn already uses about 10,000 robots, but mechanizing its workforce further is seen as a move to counteract rising labor costs in China. The company, the largest private employer in that country, the largest private employer in the country of China, has recently dealt with a spat of strikes and allegations it runs an unsafe 21st century style sweatshop. In May, an explosion at a Foxconn company factory in Chengdu that assembles Apple products killed 3 workers. So they blow up a factory, they kill some workers on purpose, and then they can say, well, we need to put the robots in, it's safer. But meanwhile, where do those million employees go? They just said they don't have them. They need work. We need work in America. So they're doing the same thing over there, and they're replacing us with robots, folks. When are we going to say enough is enough? When are we going to stand against a tyrannical government? Listen, when a government is afraid of its people, then you have liberty, you know? When a government's afraid of its people, you have liberty. When people are afraid of their government, you have tyranny. And I believe, unless I'm completely out of my mind, we are living in a full factory of tyranny right now. So when they're telling you that 1 million robots are going to take your job right here, and the exact quote is 1 million workers of the flesh and blood variety plans to add the robots within this year. They're not even calling you humans anymore. They're calling you flesh and blood. This is where we're at, folks. And then I noticed a little thing at the bottom of that article. And you listen closely. NewYorkDailyNews.com. We know where you live. Here's where you can find us. Well, how the hell do you know where I live unless I'm getting your paper delivered to my house, which, thank God, I'm not. They know anyway. They're tracking your phones, folks. Look, they have your laptop right down here at the bottom. They have your laptop. They got your iPad. They got your cell phone, and you're locked in. Look, the little Facebook and Twitter sign. That's right, folks. They've been following you since the minute you signed up. They know every single thing you do. They know what medicines you take. They know when you're looking for a doctor. They know everything. If you fart the wrong way, they know about it. And it might sound funny, folks, but it's not. We are in a horrible, serious, bad situation, and we need to fight back and take the power back. We have got to stick together. You've got to get the word out. They're on the march. They're coming. Like, it's not even going slowly anymore. They're coming at us 100 miles per hour, and no one's stopping it. I mean, they're just taking over. And then I happen to look at this article right next to it. Capone's son warned of the hit on Ted. Fuel for Kennedy Mafia tie theories. Okay, so then it goes to say they found some old FBI tape that says Al Capone's son mentioned that one of the Kennedys would get whacked or something like that. Listen, folks, I'm Italian myself, and I can tell you that Italians talk a lot of junk. We like to get motivated, we get angry, and we talk crap, okay? But guess what? That's why they print this garbage. They want you to say, well, look, yeah, maybe Oswald didn't do it, but it was the mafia that did it now. Yeah, listen, folks, your U.S. government killed John F. Kennedy because they thought they had a perfect puppet president like the rest of the ones that came after him. He liked to sleep around a little bit. We all know this. There were some things going on. And they thought because he could be bought or told what to do because of that, they came to him with what's called Operation Northwoods. And if you don't believe me, please do the research and prove me wrong. Operation Northwoods was all his head commanders coming to him saying, look, here's Operation Northwoods. We want to blow up major stuff in Miami, Washington, D.C., and some other places and cause false flag terror attacks so that we can then do A, B, and C and create a crisis and then make more money and send more people to war and do all this other stuff. Well, John F. Kennedy, having just become the president, regardless of who he was sleeping with, because that doesn't matter, he decided, you know what? I have a sense of duty and I have a sense to protect this country like the forefathers did. And he fired all of them and he said, you're out of your minds and I'm not doing it. Now we know 40 years later this actually happened. It's been declassified and the Northwoods has come out. It's out there. They were going to blow up things in cities and scare people and create war in our country and then do what they want. But John F. Kennedy, thank God, didn't go. He's a patriot. He didn't go with it. He said, no, you're out of your minds. I will not hurt American civilians for no reason. And he got them out of there. And conveniently, a month later, he got his brains blew out in the middle of Dallas, Texas. And you think it's the mafia. Whether they used some of the mafia people, hired them, to do it, that could have happened. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know that we'll ever know. But what we do know is that the government did it. They planned it. They set it up. They paid for it. They called the CIA agents. They called Secret Service away. You can watch the tapes where the CIA service is looking back and forth from the president's car, and they're called off to back off the president. It's against every regulation and rule that the Secret Service has to ever leave the president's side. That's why they're all confused watching the car drive away going, what? Why are you calling us off? And 2 seconds later, his head gets blown off right next to his wife because this is the country we live in. And this is the 60s. And now they're talking about robots taking jobs. They're calling us flesh and blood human beings. And everything is going in the toilet. So please take the time today or tomorrow to look through my favorites. I have documentaries. I have tons of facts. Go through my old uploads. There's so much good information in them. Check out my favorites list. Like I said, I have a couple playlists as well, some Alex Jones shows that are really good. We have got to get this information out. We have got to stick together. Subscribe to my channel. I will subscribe to yours. Then someone else will subscribe to theirs. And it'll keep going and going until we have an army of info warriors out there who are getting this information out. The mainstream media is exactly that. They're mainstream and they're lying to us. They're not telling the truth. They twist the stories, they turn the stories, and they make the stories. But they're not real stories. They're to get your brain on one wavelength so that you're stuck to a TV, so that you're stuck to a lying newspaper, and then you can spread those lies to your family so no one has any idea what's going on. However, we have now found out what's going on. We're leaving their crap behind, and we want to take this country back. We have got to get Ron Paul as president. Please go to Infowars.com, Prison Planet TV, or please check out SuperJbusiness on YouTube. That's me. Watch my other shows. They're great. Check. I have 650 favorites. I have the max in my favorites. I can't get any more. I have to keep going back and then erasing some and then putting new ones. The information is there. Start at the bottom or start at the top. Work your way through my favorites list. By the time you're done, you will be well awakened as to what is going on in this country. It's time to take the power back, folks. And you have to ask yourself, why stand on a silent platform? We have to fight the war and F the norm. The norm is to be quiet, go to work, sit in your house and yell at the TV at a sports game and not know what's going on while your country is taken hostage Your kids will be slaves. Your grandkids will be slaves. You will have no weapons to protect yourself, and this world will go into a toilet. And we don't need that. This is our country just as much as it is those global banking elite that sit up in their mansions and put these orders out. Our government has become puppets. We need real government officials. Somebody like Ron Paul who's going to say no to a super Congress. What is a super Congress? We are not living in a comic book, folks. Well, this is the real world. This is the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, which we ran off for almost 200 years or over, and it's worked so far, and it made this country the great nation it is. The problem is there's some rich people out there that want to suck this country dry so that it's not the great country, so we can join the rest of the third world countries and be slaves like them, and then they could just slaughter whole communities and say, oh, well, no one cares about them. Do you read the newspaper? They just go in Africa and they just murder whole villages. They just murder whole villages everywhere in the world. We're next, folks. We're on that list. Canada looks like we'll be last. But they're working their way through Europe. They've destroyed it completely. Now they're over here in America. They're destroying America. And next they'll shoot up to Canada. And then they'll come out and say, we need a world government. We need a world body that the UN will head and the Trilateral Commission will follow. And there will be a new world constitution and we will all be together. And this way here, everything won't be bad. Yeah, it's bad because they're making it bad so they can do what they want, so that they can be the super elite and we can be the slaves. This has been done in history. If you don't know your history, you don't know your future. This has been done in history 1,000,000 times over, and enough is enough. When will you have enough? When will you wake up and look at your children and your grandchildren and say, I want them to have a future. I want them to be able to go to a nice baseball game. I want them to enjoy a day out in the summertime. I want them to have an opportunity to have a nice job and earn money and have kids and live the American dream, which has now been turned into the American nightmare. Please, folks, I'm a mental midget compared to most, and I can see right through this garbage. So it's time to wake up. It's time to stand up. It's time to get this information out, and it's time to take the power back. This has definitely been another edition of the Super J Business Hour. This is part 2. Check out part 1, which I just filmed and put out. Thank you guys. God bless. Peace in the Middle East. Peace in America. Peace everywhere. Peace in PA, California, Norway. Peace everywhere. We just need to stick together, and we have to help each other, folks. We have to hold each other's hands. We have to talk to each other. We have to spread this community. We have to get together and stand together. Enough is enough. We have got to take our country back. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back with another edition of Super J Business Hour when we will hit current and world news starting tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you back at the same time tomorrow. Thanks very much, and have a great day today. All right.